Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be discussing something I learned during my work this week, and I just wanted to kind of give you guys a lot of context and rundown of how I solved this issue. It's pretty small, but it is still something that I think is interesting, that I learned throughout my job. So I just want to share it. For the context, I needed to upgrade our current Elasticsearch Python client from 7.x to 8.x because they upgraded, and the seventh version is going to be deprecated in a little bit. So I needed to do some client upgrade and configurations. And don't worry about setting up the client specifically. I want to hone in on this little paragraph over here, and just a little bit more for background context. If you don't know what Elasticsearch is, it's a really fascinating tool that helps you with a bunch of things. But in my use case, it's used to fetch records or information from databases, and it just helps us speed up our website faster. Moving to the paragraph here, it says, whenever we use this Elasticsearch client, now we must use keyword only arguments. And as you can see here, it says 7x unsupported usage, and they use position argument here, and we need to use the keyword. And so I have various tons of code that uses this Elasticsearch client, and there might be certain things, specifically a Elasticsearch method called perform request. So in our code, it's something like, I don't know, client.perform request, and that's an underscore, and it's going to have a bunch of positional arguments. So it's going to be like, I don't know, the HTTP method is get, and the URL is, I don't know, localhost, something like that. And I can kind of infer what the keyword is here. So this is like a HTTP method, something like that, but I'm not 100% sure. And when I run something like this, I am going to get an argument called perform request got an unexpected keyword argument, and then it'll tell me what that wrong keyword is. So how am I supposed to find this? Well, number one, I can go to GitHub. So if I go to, or no, for number one, I can look at the documentation of Elasticsearch. So I went into Elasticsearch 8.7, and over here, I can Control F and look for perform request. But unfortunately, there's nothing that mentions the method perform request. And I looked down a bunch of these table of content stuff, and I didn't see anything. So the documentation doesn't have anything to add here. What else can we do? Number two is to go to the GitHub source code and see exactly where this thing is being used. So I'm at the Elasticsearch Pi GitHub over here, looking at the source code. And if I go to the Elasticsearch folder, I can perhaps look at the client. I can maybe look at the transport method, but as you can see here, nothing really pertaining to perform request. And if I do a Control F search, perform request, there really isn't anything. So the most I can do here is, because it looks like it's importing like a bunch of clients, maybe I can go to the Elasticsearch client. And if I look at the import, where's the import Elastic as Elasticsearch, I can go in here and look at perform request. And it doesn't really have in it anything that says, or that constructs it. So at this point, I'm a little bit stuck, because I do know that there's supposed to be like a HTTP method, a path or URL, params, and headers, but I don't know what the keyword is still. So what did I do after that? Well, I just Googled Python, how to find functional arguments, and I was led to this Stack Overflow post. And look, and voila, it says you can use inspect get argspec to see what arguments are accepted and what default values it has. but it says in Python 3 or Python 3.4, it adds the inspect.signature object. And if I look at this, it says inspect signature of a function, and it'll pretty much return all the arguments we have here. So I just pulled out a little cheeky method here that I created. Very, very simple to understand. It just does it pretty much mimics what it would be. So I have a defined perform request and I have 3 arguments, A, B, and C. And if I were to replicate my initial error that I got, then I would have put in a wrong keyword for this method. And of course I get the type error saying back, perform request got an unexpected keyword argument and whatever that thing was. So just to fix it, I want to find out what the our keywords are. So I'll just do an import inspect, and then I'll do an inspect.signature and put in the method perform request, and look, and voila. It just gives me a little tuple of A, B, and C. So now I have the information that I need to know what keyword argument to put for my values, or not my values, but my keyword. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys found this a little bit interesting. And if you guys did, I'll try to put out more of these for you guys in the future. So thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.